on
Part 2, episode 113.
Yay. We have one more week of our... Oh, I'm Sheila from Sheila.
I was waiting for you to say it.
I'm Sheila.
I'm Sheila from Sheila's World.
Yeah. Sheila D37.
And...
Then if you were waiting for me to say it, why didn't you just say it yourself?
I don't know. I was going to interrupt you after you said the thing so it looked more, planned.
All right.
I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Wenny. And we still have
one more week left
on our knit-along. And this is what's going to happen. We will show the prizes next week. There is one prize that was donated by Angelia McGar that we're going to give. And we showed that on last week's episode. And then we are going to pick out a second prize to when we go to the Sheep and Wool Festival in Massachusetts tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
We're going to pick out a prize there. And the third prize is Angelia is offering a free pattern as well.
Cool.
So that's going to be 3 winners. 3 big winners.
And that drawing will be Friday the 31st, which is the last day of May.
Yep. Okay. So we will close the thread before we record.
Yeah.
So you need to get it in by the 31st.
Otherwise, So the question is, do we have another knit-along? Or do we take some time off?
I think we should just roll with another knit-along.
All right. Suggestions out there.
It's not like we ever do the
I know.
knit-along.
I know. Suggestions for what you guys would like to have a knit-along on.
Yeah, I think we'll put that thread on it. I had thought of doing lace, anything with lace.
Oh, that's a good one.
Doesn't have to be in lace weight yarn, but anything with a lace pattern.
Could be socks, could
socks,
be sweaters, shawls,
sweaters.
hats.
Yeah, it kind of leaves it wide open.
That's not a bad idea.
People who haven't done a lot with lace can do something in a heavier weight.
Well, I did a worsted weight lace.
She did a worst. You did Eco. That was like a bulky weight lace. Or Erin, yeah. So I thought that might be fun because I know a lot of people say, lace is too hard, it's beyond me. But there's like a lot of projects out there where you can try lace and not have
lace
it be
is just
crazy.
a yarn over and a knit two together, basically.
It's just a question of learning to read your knitting. And I found that it's a lot easier to learn to read your knitting if you use a heavier weight. And then when you get used to it, you can start knitting things in lace weight, and you'll find that it's not as complicated as it seems. So that's my suggestion, but we'll open a thread.
I think that's a good suggestion, though.
Yeah, I do too.
So we'll see. We'll see what you guys say. Also, I wanted to say thanks to Kim for a donation to the podcast. We really do appreciate it. Again, if you're interested in donating to the podcast, there's a button right over there.
Yes.
Donations.
Also, you can join our group over there.
Yeah, if you haven't already.
And
I think that's about it.
I think that's all our shout-outs at the beginning. I'm going first this week.
That's fine by me.
No.
It's going to be quick.
This is going to be a short week, people. This week, I've been knitting all the baby stuff, and I want to tell everybody I gave all the baby stuff to my sister-in-law, and she absolutely loved it.
Just the hats, right? Or what
the hats, and I made the little owly sleep sack and matching hat.
That's right.
I gave all that to my sister and brother-in-law. They absolutely loved it. Their favorite thing was the turkey Viking hat. It turns out that my sister-in-law has bought a little onesie that says Mommy's Little Turkey on it. She's like, this is going to be perfect. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That is going to be good.
Now, they don't know my plan to photograph the baby in a pot in the oven yet. I didn't want to let them in on that.
What, like in a broiler?
I'm going to wait until they let me watch the baby. I'm going to stick it in the oven and take a picture. Hopefully she doesn't watch this episode. I don't think she watches my show. But anyway, it was really fun. We went out to dim sum with them last week. No, we went to Mandarin.
Is that the one I don't like?
No, Mandarin Wedding.
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking
they have a
the
nice
one in Boston
buffet.
I don't like.
No, you hate that one. No, we didn't go to that one. We went to Mandarin. They have a buffet.
Yeah,
it's a dim sum buffet, and they
do
do typical dim sum. They do a few like noodle dishes and stuff, and then they have a huge California roll and nigiri buffet.
Yeah.
So you can like totally load up on the sushi. They do it Saturday and Sunday.
Mornings or brunch time?
Yeah, I think it starts at 11 and goes until 3. Oh, yeah.
I have to go
because you can like totally load up on all the sushi that you want. Because I freaking love sushi. They have salmon, tuna,
we need to take
whitefish.
We need to take you to Monato's in Natick someday.
Is that good?
It's a sushi buffet. That's
I am such a. I'll eat any sushi. We went to. My husband used to work with. Little side note. Too. We went to. I actually like sashimi the best. I don't like.
Depending, I like salmon sashimi. That's about the only thing I'll eat.
But I'll eat nigiri. If you hold a gun to my head, I'll eat nigiri. I love nigiri. I'm not a big fan of the California roll style because I like the fish. I like that texture. Oh, yeah. But we had a friend. My husband used to work at Mass General Hospital when he first started doing research, and we had a friend whose brother. He was from Japan, and his brother was actually the guy in charge of importing the fresh fish for a sushi restaurant. So he'd invite us over to his house, and they'd bring out these giant trays, like 3 giant trays of all the fresh sushi that his brother would get for him. And I ate everything. Eel. People like, oh, eel's really gross. No, I
heard had to be cooked. Doesn't it? There's certain sushi that has to be cooked. Eel, I think.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and shrimp.
Eel, shrimp.
And they usually use imitation crab.
They had some kind of thing that was like, I don't even remember. It was like the stomach lining of a fish. I ate that. Yeah, I ate everything. They were like, wow, you're the most adventurous American sushi eater we've ever seen. But it all tastes so good to me. So, yeah.
Side note now. End of side note.
Sushi! So let me just... So anyway, I gave all the baby stuff. And I went on a road trip to surprise Jessalu, our friend Jessalu. Well, it wasn't really a surprise because she, forced me to tell her we were going. But my friend Diane and I decided we would go out to see her at the Webb's tent sale. So we showed up sometime after lunch. We got there after lunch. And just dropped in to see her. And I started selfish knitting on that day. So all I did this week was selfish knitting. This is the pattern. Oops. The pattern is called Crooked Walking Shawl by Ann Hansen. And it looks like this.
Oh, you son of a gun.
Oh, what'd you do?
Nothing.
Are you talking to me?
No, I thought I connected a stitch marker in my knitting, but I was able to get it.
That wouldn't have been good.
I'd have to cut the stitch marker.
Yeah, or the yarn.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cut the yarn.
I would. Yeah. So that's the Crooked Walking Shawl. I bought the supplies for it at the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool, and my friend Kathy, who I was shopping with at the time, also bought the supplies, and she is doing a knit along with me. And she's actually knitting it. She posted a photograph. This is like the first time I have been in a knit along with a friend who is actually knitting along.
Wait a minute. I did knit the citron up to a certain point. And then I just said, hell no. And anyone who's knit that citron and likes to knit it, good luck to you.
So this is the beginning of the shawl. You can see it has
the shoulder shaping. Or
yes, this is the shoulder shaping. It's not easy to see because it's on a really small needle, but
well, that's kind of cool.
It kind of rests on your shoulders.
Yeah.
So if you pull it apart, you would see that it kind of sits on your shoulders.
Excuse me.
So I am just about done with section B of the shawl. I think I have to double check the chart.
Is there a size to that? Or
yes, this is a medium. It has small, medium, and large. This is going to be a medium. It will look bigger than this.
Do you want some help holding it?
Yeah, but it's on a really small needle, so.
Yeah, well, we can give them a general idea.
This is the back point, and these are the shoulder shaping. So that's how it's going to look. So it's getting there. I think I'm going to...
What yarn?
I am using... I have to look at the label because I've never used this brand. This is yarn that I bought at the sheep roll. It is baby alpaca and silk. It's a sport weight called Martha in the gray sky colorway by Nightingale Fibers. And you can find Nightingale Fibers at www.nightingalefibers.com. And I just realized I never put show notes up last week. So I'll have to do that. I will do that today. Sorry about that. I've been really good, too.
You deserve a lot more than...
I've been really good about it.
Because I haven't done anything.
So
I show up.
At least you show up. I have about this much left of the first skein.
And how many does it require?
This takes about 800 and some yards, and I bought 3 skeins.
Pretty.
Whoops.
Falling apart over there, girl.
Well, my empty medicine I had a really bad cold last weekend, part of this week. So there's all my cold medicine that I had with me. I will say one thing about this. It has the first chart where you knit this, these ridges on the shawl. There's the center spine ridge and then the shoulder shaping ridge. I read the chart, I thought, and I read the instructions, and I did it wrong the first time, and I had to rip it out after about here. Like, I had knit almost all of it. So that's why you don't see very much done on it, because I ripped the whole thing out. And then Kathy, my friend who's doing the knit along with me, had trouble with it too. So it's not just me. I don't think there's anything wrong with the chart. I don't think there's a chart error. I just, for some reason, visually, and it does not make sense. It didn't make sense in my brain. And apparently not in Kathy's either. So I feel a little bit better. We both felt better that we both had a hard time reading that chart. Normally, the patterns that I've knit by Ann Hansen have extremely clear charts. I've done a lot of them. And so I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe I'm just losing my mind.
Always a possibility.
So I'm hoping that when I get, because there are some pretty complicated charts in here. You can see. Oops, I guess you can't see.
No.
You can see some pretty complicated charts. I'm hoping that I will not have similar confusion with them. I really like the way this is knitting up. This is meant to be knit in a lace weight. They had a sample in a fingering weight. I'm using a sport weight. It's really a heavy fingering weight.
Yeah, it looks more like a heavy fingering weight.
And it's baby alpaca and silk, so you can just even see from my holding it up, it's already really drapey without even having been blocked. So I am not worried at all about this. I think it's going to be wonderful. This will be a great fall shawl. And the thing that I like about it is the shoulder shaping holds it down. And if I use one of Katie's mom's shawl gems, then it'll totally stay in place. I won't even have to worry about it. It's like a poncho.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing on that. I'm really enjoying it. And I'm using the size 3 signatures that Angelia gave me.
That's right.
And enjoying knitting this wonderful luxury yarn with luxury needles. I feel like the queen of the world. I don't know why. I hate it that these needles are so good for me.
Yeah, because
they're so expensive. Yeah, but thanks to Angelia's dislike of them, I totally am.
Maybe I'll invest in a pair of 6s because that's what I'd probably use the most.
I got a 4 and a 6 to start because I got the 1s because I thought I would knit socks. And I do enjoy knitting socks more on the signatures.
Yeah, so for me it would be size 2s. If I could get size 2s.
They didn't have 2s yet.
I know that.
They may now. I don't know. But
your alpaca is...
I'm sorry. It's baby alpaca, so it's really wispy.
Yeah, it's irritating my nose.
Sorry. So that's one thing. The other thing that I did work on, and I'm so almost done with it, you can see, is I'm so close. I need to just do a few more stitches on the edge of this, and I'll be done with this square.
And that would make how many squares? 4?
4. It's never going to be done.
See, that's why. Oh, that's right. I gotta knit a baby blanket.
But
that's why I don't want to commit to things because.
See, I am really close. So that's all I have left is just enough to fill up that corner. I just didn't work on the blanket this week because I was sick for half the week, and then I was only doing my selfish knitting because, frankly, I needed a break from this blanket. So I will work on that more. And that's all I actually worked on this week. So all my other stuff has officially moved into the Projects of Shame category.
Well, since I only have one thing that I ever have been working on, I'm going to show it to you in just 1 minute. I want to get past this stitch marker. So I've actually did some quite a bit of knitting on it.
I know. It looks amazing.
This is the Cottage Creations Wonderful Wallaby sweater. This is what it looks like. Or, well,
it's like a kangaroo hoodie.
It's a hoodie.
I know. I like it. And it's a hooded sweater for all ages. That's what it says.
And this is where I am at.
Looks so good.
The only thing I don't like is I kind of wish I put the yarn maybe 2 more up, but because it almost looks, I don't know.
I like it.
But I really love the coloring. And
yeah,
I'm going to, the sleeves, when I start the sleeves, which will hopefully be in about another 3 inches, are going to have the same coloring.
I think that'll be great.
And then I plan on it having, we'll see how good I am, black here.
Yeah.
And the black hoodie.
Oh, that'll be cute.
So I'll be doing some color work, changing colors here, because you
can do that.
I know I can do that.
You can totally do that.
So we'll see. But I'm really loving this.
Ah, me too. I think it's
really
coming out great.
Soft and comfortable. This is a wool cotton blend.
Did we figure out what it was?
Well, I have the skeins. So mainline, 75% Pima and 25% Merino, and I believe it's discontinued.
Yeah, I don't think they sell that anymore, but it's really nice.
So I have ivory. I don't think this is all I have left. I hope not. Otherwise, I'm really screwed. I hope this isn't all I have left.
I would check that if I were you.
I may not be having a hood.
Well, and that's okay.
It is okay.
It'll still be a great
maybe
sweater.
Maybe it will be a vest. That would completely suck.
Yes, it would. But I bet you can find a cotton wool blend in a similar enough color.
Maybe do the sleeves.
Yes, I am sure.
I don't know. I'll have to check, but I'm pretty sure, 95% sure that I have more at home.
Okay.
95% sure.
Well,
there was a lot. I had a lot. That's why I decided to do this. I had a lot of skeins.
Yeah, that we can work the problem. It'll be fine.
I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, that's all I've been working on, and so I did maybe finish the pocket here and then this much.
Oh, that's good. You did a good job.
Yeah.
Neither one of us were big knitters this week.
And I just pulled a whole bunch of stitches out.
Oh, okay. Well, while you're doing that, finished objects. I have no finished objects this week. How about you, Sheila?
Yeah, right. When was the last finished object I had? It was...
I don't know.
Was it my clapetty? No.
Usually I try to bring in some kind of a finished object to sort of keep things going, but that was just not going to happen this week. So, future dates.
Okay.
What are you doing
well,
over there?
Your yarn was about to fall on your floor, and no offense, you have cats.
I know.
I just didn't want cat hair on it.
Future dates. I've showed you the seashell shawl before that I am going to cast on at some point. I had wound the yarn for it, but then when I got the alpaca for that walking shawl, I kind of got sidetracked. But that shawl by Jo Cray Arts, I'm definitely going to do. And then I have a new one because another selfish knitting project. So I was at the tent sale and I saw some yarn and they had it all color, like in color order. And I decided that I was going to buy some, to do Hero, Hiro, by Julia Farwell Clay. It's a colorwork sweater. It comes in a pullover and a cardigan version. I'm going to do the pullover version because I have enough cardigans. And I'll show you the yarn under Baubles and Bling, but that's definitely on my radar. In fact, I was going to cast it on, but I realized very quickly that I need to finish the blanket first or I will fall down the hole of doing the sweater. So that's going to be on the back. That's kind of like my inspiration to get the blanket done so that I can cast on the sweater. So those are my two, and then the baby booties that I've shown, I'm definitely going to knit at some point. Those are my two future dates right now. How about you? I'm
still planning on doing a baby blanket. Don't have the yarn for it yet, though.
You'll find something.
Oh, I know where. I gotta look in my stash to see what I can use and then what I will add to it.
Right.
What I'll probably buy is, I think Walmart sells those cones of cotton yarn.
Yeah, the big ones.
Yeah, and I know the Walmart in North Reading, not too far from us, sells cream color. So I think what I'll do is buy cream color, see what pinks I have, and go from there.
Yeah. Well, it's a good idea. Let's see. Whirlwind Romance. I have not been spinning at all. I almost spun this week, but then I changed my mind. I'm really looking forward to, what's it called? The Tour de Flace coming up. I have big plans for that. I'm gonna be on Team Into the World again. And I am going to spin only Into the World for the entire tour, as I did the last time. So I'm really looking forward to that. I hope I'm going to get a lot of awesome projects out of it. And I hope that I'm going to use up some of my giant stash.
That's good.
And you have no Whirlwind Romances on the list, so.
Yeah, no, never.
What comes next? Baubles and Bling? I don't have shown
Crushes and Heartbreaks.
Crushes and Heartbreaks.
And Bling, Gossip and Innuendo.
Okay, Crushes and Heartbreaks. My crush is that I had a fun time on Saturday. My friend Diane and I went to the Webb's tent sale. I haven't been to the tent sale in like 5 years because I bought stuff at the tent sale that I still haven't used. It's fun. They have a tent in the parking lot of Webb's with all their like deeply, deeply, deeply discounted yarn. You can get a lot of sweater amounts, like bags of yarn for a good price. And then they invite some local vendors to come. And so there's a row of tent booths around the edge of the parking lot. And we went because our friend Jessica was going to be vending there. And my friend Diane, who's the person who originally introduced me to Jessica when I first met her, wanted to go down. We were going to surprise her, but then I was talking to her during our weekly VK.
I don't understand how you could surprise her when you've been telling everybody for the last few weeks before that
I said I might go, but Jess didn't know that we were definitely going, and we were just going to surprise her. I know. We were going to surprise her by just showing up. We weren't going to tell her. But then she was asking me repeatedly on Sunday night if we were going, and I was finally like, yes, we're going. I couldn't lie anymore.
She's going to the Mass Sheep and Wool.
Yes,
right?
We're going to see her at Sheep and Wool, and Amy is going to be there. She's vending in Spunky Eclectic's booth. So anyway, we went there, and I ended up going into Jess's booth, and it was picked over by the time I got there. We did not get there until like 12:30 or 1. We got there after lunch because we slept in before we drove. And I bought Notions bags. So this is the Starry Night Notions bag. And on the inside, it is stars. And this is the Gnome House Notions bag that matches the other bags that I have. And it has polka dots on the inside.
To match the mushroom.
Yep. And this is the sock monkey one. And it has bananas.
We went from Crushes and Heartbreaks into Baubles and Bling.
Oh, whoops.
That's
wait, let's just erase. I'll just delete it.
Continue. Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
I guess. Well, my crush was that we got to go there, and I bought a lot of stuff. I might as well show you the last one. This is the last one. It's Scooters.
Oh, that's cute.
It has hearts on the inside. So, yeah. So I did that, and if you, oops, that's Oskar. Hello, Oskar. Welcome to the show. So if you go to her booth when she's vending, I'm not sure when she vends through other people, but when Jess is vending, you can get 4 Notions bags for $20, which is a really good deal. 4 for $20. So I have this plan where I'm going to make little go bags because I never have what I need in my project bag, and it seems like my notions bag is always in the wrong bag, and I forget to stick it in. So I thought I would buy a bunch of these little ones and put in, you know, a small tape measure. I need to get some more tape measures.
I was going to say, I didn't think you had enough of those.
I've been looking for some inexpensive ones. I could get them from China, but they would take several weeks. I might just use, I think I put them in another bag. I might get some of the ones that look like this.
Oh, all right, yeah.
They're inexpensive, and, you know, it's not like, oh, now more cats are coming. It's the attack of the cats. I also found these cute tubes that you can. I have a yarn needle in there. I will put some stitch markers in there, and I just want to show these. They're called glitter tubes, and they're to mix glitter. I got them at the art and craft thing, but you get 6 for like $2, and because I didn't want to buy a bunch of chibi containers.
Yeah, oh no, they're too expensive.
Yeah, but these are cheap, and I can fill them up, and they have a screw cap so that they don't pop open.
Yeah, they're just as good as chibis.
Yeah, so I bought some of those, and yeah, I'm making these, and I can just throw them right into my bag. I might maybe put a crochet hook in there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, just, you know, in case I need to pull stitches or something. So anyway, that's my crush, is that I'm starting this little project. You know, Oskar.
Oskar is sitting on my stuff. There we go.
He's
can't really see his face, but literally he is a foot away from me. Of course, he's sitting on my
right
stuff.
There.
When I go like this, I'm touching his nose.
He wants to be involved in things. So that was one crush. I had a great day. I ended up walking 5 miles with Diane in downtown Northampton while we waited for Jess to be done with the day. And then we went with her husband and Jess out to dinner, and then we drove home. We didn't get home until 11. And we totally reported a drunk driver to the police by calling the state police on the highway. We were like total badass.
Hey.
So that was my crush. It was a fun weekend, and my heartbreak was that I had a cold that day. I was starting to get the cold when we recorded. Do you remember? Yeah. I had a scratchy throat, and it developed into this horrible spring cold and dragged me down, but I'm totally over it now. He's totally eating this plastic bag.
Well, he's funny because he's doing what my cat used to do with plastic bags. My cat would go inside and rub her nose up on the plastic bag.
He's biting
that's what
it.
Is he?
Yes, because he wants to eat it.
Because to me it looks like he's doing this. And my cat would squeak. You would hear it go squeak.
She liked it?
It was. God, gave her a high of some sort. He's so cute, actually.
But he's like,
it's all right.
He'll bite a big hole. So that's it for my crushes and heartbreak.
I don't know if it's a crush or a heartbreak.
I have to set the stage for you. I am walking home from parents' night, open house last night, and I get a weird text. What did you say exactly?
I said, I don't have a middle name.
Is that what it was? I was like, what? Oh, wait, it's not on this one. Hold on a second. I have to see exactly what you said. So I'm walking there, and I get this text. I'm like, who's texting me? I officially do not have a middle name. I'm like, what?
So let me just say, my husband and I are in the process of getting passports for the family because my mother-in-law is coming June and July. That could be considered a heartbreak right there.
And you're going to go to Canada, right?
Yeah, but the heartbreak isn't my mother.
Yes. Oh, that's... I was just finishing the whole passport thing.
Well, no, I'm finishing the heartbreak. So my mother-in-law is coming June and July, and we were talking about possibly going up to Toronto, Canada to visit the Niagara Falls.
Which is cool.
Nowadays, you need a passport or a border card or something like that. So my husband's like, let's get passports. All right, so I go down and find out what you need to get your passport, and I need a birth certificate. Well, I've had one. She goes, yeah, but you need the long form now. I guess, when we got birth certificates way back when, it used to be a little rectangular
Yeah, like
one.
this big.
Now you need a long form.
I only have,
Well, if you need to get one, you have to get a long form.
I don't know. I've always gotten one.
They've changed their... I know, but they've changed their policies now.
Oh, maybe they fill out a different
So I had
thing.
to go up to Nashua, New Hampshire to get one because that's where I was born. And so I'm filling out the form to get my birth certificate. I said, do you need my middle name? She goes, just your initial. So I'm like, okay, I put my initial. And she comes back to me. She goes, officially, you don't have a middle name. I go, what? For 42 years, I thought my middle name was Louise. My mother even used to use it. Sheila Louise, get down here.
But as she now finds out,
I'm not the person
she
I
has
once thought
no
I was.
middle name.
So she gives me my birth certificate. I'm like, no, that's not right. That can't be right. So I go home, and I still have that little thing in our lockbox. And it's right. It has Sheila and my maiden name. And I'm like, huh, I never noticed it. So she's like, and you've only realized this now? I'm 42 years old. Like,
is this the first time you've ever gotten a passport?
I've never had a passport.
Okay, because I have bought.
But I've had my birth certificate many times you needed to bring in. I just never paid attention to it. So, I mean, I called up my brothers and I told them, and, I went to my work today saying, I'm not the person I once thought I was.
Oh my gosh.
Now I can create a whole new persona.
See? Now on the bright side, I told Sheila I'm more than I'm more than happy to help you fill out name change forms.
Yeah, and shall I mention to what you
and you
want
can pick a new... I was like, let me pick the middle name.
Here it is. Now you can be Matilda, Philomena, or
Ermengarde.
Ermengarde. I said, yeah, those really don't go with Duong.
So I said, how about Bai?
Yeah, but then you said Sheila doesn't go with her.
Sheila doesn't, but you could change your name to like Bailing Duong or something.
Yeah, and then people are going to see that and look at me and be like,
what?
I already get that.
You could be like tired of the name Sheila. You're going to have to fill the paperwork anyways. You could be somebody, you could be like Loretta.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with Sheila. Let's not confuse my kids enough, okay? But I mean, that would almost be like that Seinfeld episode where it's Wang, it's short for Wangenstein or whatever.
Yeah.
Wangstein or whatever it was.
Now, I'm wondering what your marriage certificate says.
That's at home. I'll have to take a look at it. I'm sure it says Sheila L. Duong because I've always thought of it as...
Because when my mom got married, she changed her name to her first name, Nancy, her maiden name, and my dad's name. So if you had done that, you would be Sheila Hofer Duong, and then that would be fine. You wouldn't have to do anything because that would be your middle name.
I don't have to do anything.
But, no, I know. But if you did Sheila Louise Duong, that's just a big lie.
I did do that because that's what I thought my middle name was. For 42 years. Now, unfortunately, my mom is no longer here to explain that.
So we don't know the mystery behind why.
So I sent an email to my father saying, Dad, I went to New Hampshire to get my birth certificate, and I officially don't have a middle name. And he's like, that is funny. Because I'm going to have to, he goes, when do you get it? In baptism? I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure you get it when you're born.
Pretty sure you have to put it on the birth certificate paperwork.
My boys have official middle names.
So do mine.
And yet, okay.
Oh, that's I said. Does your brother have a middle name?
My brother,
she's
who
a twin,
is 3 minutes older. And all right, here's another thing. I always thought I was born at 6:40 or 6 o'clock. No, I was born at 5:43. I'm like, all right, whatever.
you did not read your birth certificate carefully.
I don't know anything about myself. I'm a mystery.
Who even are you?
So I talked to my brother. I had talked to him before I went, and then after I went, before I went to bed, I called him up and said, "Hey, do you have your birth certificate available?" Really, he is officially 3 names. Well, his birth certificate says Thomas Edward Hofer. That's not what name he uses because when he got married, he took his wife's name, Reed Hofer. And somebody brought up a good point. My student today said, well, if he gets remarried, is he going to keep that name? Isn't that kind of...
Oh, he licked your straw. Ew. The cat was like trying to drink out of her straw. What is wrong with you, Kat? Oh my gosh.
So, anyways, my brother has Reed Hofer as a last name. He's no longer married, but he took his wife's name and he kept it because his daughter. Understandable, but the student that I was with today, she goes, so what happens if he remarries? I'm like, that's a good point. I never thought about that, because if I was marrying somebody like that, I wouldn't want my ex-wife.
Well, maybe you guys can go down to the Middlesex County probate court and get a 2-for-1 deal on name changes.
I'm not going to change my name. Because then I'd have to change my social security card.
Which is such a pain. Well, your social security card is a big fat lie. You're going to be like on the national security watch list because you have so many aliases. Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, that's going to be fun. So
when you go over the border, they're going to be like, we have a flag by your name.
Yeah, I guess on my passport I won't be putting L.
No, you won't, because that's not really your name.
I don't know. I don't know if there's any repercussions on this.
Well, I mean, I don't think there is.
I mean, officially, my name is Sheila Hofer, even though my marriage certificate, because I asked her, I said, what does that mean? She goes, I said, what about my married name when I chose, when I said, she goes, no, but officially you will always be Sheila Hofer.
When you fill out paperwork to be married, it makes a record of your official name, your married name. You don't have to go into a probate court to change to your married name unless you do what I did, which is fill out the form with my maiden name. Now, if I wanted my legal name to be my husband's last name, which I go by my husband's last name because it's just easier. I didn't change my name because it was easier not to change my name. Because when I got married, you couldn't do anything on the internet.
You didn't change your name because you were just.
I was lazy.
You're lazy.
I went to the Social Security office to change my name before we got married to fill out the paperwork, and I waited in line for an hour and a half, and I decided I didn't really care about changing my name anymore, and I went home. My husband didn't care. He was like, whatever you want to do, and I was like, it's just easier. Then I don't have to change my driver's license or my credit cards. Like, I didn't have to do anything, and I'm lazy, so that was like the best thing for me. But now I go by my husband's last name because my kids are in school and it's just easier for everybody.
They end up calling you Mrs. Deeds anyway.
Yeah. And that's my email address, and I use that on my designs on Ravelry. I use my husband's last name. But if I sign legal documents, I sign my real name.
Yeah, so that's my interest.
I don't even know you anymore.
I know. I'm not the person I once was. I don't know.
I totally think you should pick a new middle. You don't even have to get it legally done. You can put anything in there now. You could be like Sheila X Duong.
I can just change my name every day.
You could. There's nothing stopping you. That is the funniest thing.
It really
when I got
is.
that text, so I was like, what?
It really was. I was just like, what? She's like, yeah, you don't have an official middle name. I'm like, what? Because, you hear that, why don't you have a middle name? Now I'm one of those people who doesn't have a middle name. Sad part is it took me 42 years to find that out.
That is the part that I find the most hilarious.
I just never paid attention. My birth certificate that I've had since, I can't even tell you how long I've had this birth certificate. Probably could tell you when it was, when you look on it, when it was issued. I saw it there. I just never paid attention to it.
Well, it never, it's not like you were saying, oh, let me see everything that it says, But
you do read everything that it says. My father's,
You don't read everething that it says,
Apparently
clearly. Because
I was more interested in the time I was born. And hey, at least I'm born on the same day. Jeez. Wouldn't that be funny? I'm celebrating my birthday a different day. Well, that I can't help because I share it, so.
That cracks me up.
That's my crush heartbreak. I don't know what you want to call it.
That's her shock of the week. And my laughter, you could hear me laughing all the way down the street when I got that text because it was so bizarre. Like, what? It
was bizarre. And I was almost tempted to take a picture for Instagram, and I'm like, I really don't want my
You
birth
don't want your birth certificate on
there,
Instagram. That's funny though. That gave me the best laugh I've had all week.
I'm glad I could help.
Thank you. I had kind of a crummy week, and that really lightened things up for me. Plus now it's like wide open. We can come up with a new name for you. So
maybe I'll put the name of my girl that I never had.
That's right. That would go with Duong.
Yes.
It would.
Wouldn't go with Sheila very well, but it would go with Duong.
Nothing goes with Sheila.
Hey! Cam goes with Sheila. Cam and Sheila.
It does go.
It does go.
I mean, everyone thinks his name is Cameron.
I know. Well, hey, it could be worse. It
Until
could be
they
his
see
middle
him,
name.
and then they're like, oh.
It could be his middle name.
Yeah, it could be. Okay. And on that note, let's do Baubles and Bling.
I'm just going to say right now, I got 0. So don't even come to me.
As you know, these were my Baubles and Bling that I told you about earlier for no reason.
I can't believe he's...
What? Oh,
somebody's starting to mow the lawn. We gotta finish.
Yes, we're gonna finish this up. Somebody is doing yard work right next door to me. They just had yard work last week, but apparently they need more.
Well, once a week. They probably have a contract once a week.
Why? I wish they would do my yard.
Yeah,
So I bought these from Jess that day. I also was starting on my shawl, and I didn't have any stitch markers, so I took my friend Diane's stitch markers. She was driving. So she had like a notions bag. She had one of these notions bag, as a matter of fact, which gave me the idea because she has 2 of them. And you've seen it before. I own this one. So now I have 5. So I took all of her stitch markers, every single one, to do the shawl. And when I went to Webb's, I bought these rubberized stitch markers. And they come in different colors and sizes. I kind of like them.
I do too.
I don't know when I'd ever use those giant ones. That's like a size 15 needle or something.
You would use them on like my slippers that I do.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I have giant.
You could use it on that.
I mean, you could. It's just those are some really big stitch markers. I think I could probably wear one as a ring. They're so big.
No, they're not that big.
And I'm gonna put it all the way on, and I won't be able to get it off.
You do lose circulation at some point.
Yeah. They're pretty big. So, I got those. I just picked those up. I picked up some yarn needles to put in my containers. And I picked up sweater yarn for Hero. So I'm going to show you just once again. This is what Hero looks like.
Yeah, I'll hold that.
And it's a gradient. It's a gradient one. So I'm walking in the warehouse part of Webb's, and all of these yarns were together. So the base of it's going to be dark purple, and then the yoke is going to be these colors, and that bright line in the middle is going to be this pop of blue. I think it's really pretty.
I think it will be very pretty.
So this is Valley Yarns, which is the Webb's yarn brand, Berkshire, and it is 85% wool and 15% alpaca. And it is a single ply yarn. So it's going to be a fuzzy, it's going to have kind of a halo to it, but I think that'll be cool. And that's another reason why I'm making it a pullover, because I think it's going to be a heavyweight winter sweater.
Oh,
yeah. And I think it's going to be gorgeous. I'm dying to cast it on. I actually was gifted that pattern from the designer, Julia Farwell Clay, who is someone that I know from my spinning guild, because I was the first person to complete the Skipperdy sweater. So she sent me a pattern of my choice. I picked Hero because our friend Kelly has the sample sweater. It's amazing.
Gorgeous.
It's amazing.
Gorgeous.
So I think this will be really pretty. I'm super excited to start it. So, yeah, that's all I bought on the Webb's tent sale. And I wasn't going to buy this, but let me just tell you about the tent sale. This yarn was already discounted because it was in the warehouse. I clubbed in with Jessalu, who bought a sweater's worth of Madeline Tosh yarn.
Oh, my.
And if you spend over $120, I think if you get over 100, you get a certain percentage off. And if you go over 120, or there's some, maybe it's 75 and 100, you get to a certain level and you get a 25% discount. So not only did I get warehouse yarn, but I got a 25% discount on it. So I really only spent a little over $50 on a sweater's worth of yarn. And I bought extra. Like, I could have gotten away with 3 less skeins. I got 2 skeins each of the yoke because I was nervous that I might run out, and I didn't want to have to try to find another matching, in case the dye lot was off. So I got 2 of each, and I know that Julia Farwell Clay did a mitten pattern also by Hero. So if I have any left over, I will use that for the mittens, and or a hat. I'll be perfectly happy. Yeah. So that was a good day. It was enjoyable. Is that all your
baubles and bling?
I think that's all my baubles and bling. Oh, I will tell you, I bought some low friction running socks because I was running like 1 mile to 2 miles a week, and then when I got this fitness band, the Fitbit Flex, I ramped up to running and walking a total of at least 5 miles a day. So I went from maybe running like 2 miles a day and walking like 1 mile a day to all of a sudden going up to 5+. And I had a lot of problems with blisters on my feet, and I've never had that before. Running has never given me blisters, but walking quickly did. And I did some research on the internet, and it turns out my shoes are the right size because I got my shoes at Marathon Sports where they like professionally fit you the right way. But I had all the wrong socks. Apparently cotton footies, which is what I have, are not good because they keep moisture in, and that makes the friction even more. Cotton is a bad thing. So I picked up these socks. They're by the name of Belega, Blega, and I wore them on my 4-mile walk today, and they work pretty well.
Oh, good.
So if you are a walker or runner looking for socks that don't make you have blisters, I can recommend Belega socks. I got the ultralight.
Maybe Melissa from His and Hers can use them for her breast cancer walk.
I'm sure she must have all that stuff
what were
from the
they
last
saying
time.
That they were using?
Vaseline on their feet. That's a lot of walking. Like, I'm walking between, I guess yesterday I walked 6 miles total.
Yeah,
I think they're walking in one day, it's like 15 miles or something.
Definitely.
It's a lot of miles. So I'm sure that organization tells them about stuff like these low friction
like
socks.
And...
Yeah, I had never heard of that. When she told me that, I was like, who would need that to walk with? I've never had a problem with blisters. And as soon as I started walking more, bam.
I do all the time, but it's probably because I don't have the proper footwear.
I also have this stuff called friction block that comes in a little stick that you like. It looks like deodorant. You put it on your feet. And it lowers the friction, and that can be used with regular shoes too. So if you have new shoes and they start to rub, I got that at Target. Yeah, I learned a lot of stuff about
friction,
how to take care of your feet, because your feet object when you suddenly go in one day from doing like 2 miles a day to 5 miles a day. Your feet notice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really enjoying that the Fitbit bracelet walking. I got almost 9,000 steps in before Sheila came over this morning because I took a 4-mile walk.
Yeah. And
if you follow me on Instagram, yesterday I took pictures along my walk route to make it more interesting to me. And I also stopped and had lunch during my walk, and I shopped at the Marathon Sports store to get the socks that I had heard about. And I stopped for an iced tea, and it took me about 2 hours to go just under 4 miles. Well, I think it was like 3.5 miles. And today, when I just walked without stopping, it took me just over an hour to go 4 miles. So I went a lot quicker today. And, I'm feeling a lot fitter. I've lost inches. I've lost some weight. Here comes Oskar again. Do you want to say hello, Oskar? Say hello. Say hello, kitty. Oops. No, apparently he just wants to go chew Sheila's bag.
No, he...
Or the straw that he has taken over.
Yeah.
That was so funny. I looked over right when he's fighting the computer.
What the heck, Oskar?
You know what? I'm going to bet you money that nobody fed him this morning, and he is doing this in order to harass me to feed him.
Gosh.
Because this is how he works. He annoys the crap out of you until you feed him.
His nose is right here.
So yeah, this episode is really all talk. Episode is all talk, no action. Upcoming events. Tomorrow is Massachusetts Sheep and Wool in Cummington, Massachusetts. Sheila and I are going to it. I think it's going to rain.
It is supposed to rain.
I don't know how fun that's going to be.
It'll be fun. We'll bring our umbrella.
I have one of those giant rainbow golf umbrellas.
Her and Diane are planning to do their 10,000 steps during that. So if anyone wants to sit and chat with me, I'll be sitting down.
You have to come and do some.
I'll do some. I am not doing 10,000 steps. I do enough during my week at work.
It's really not that much. It sounds like a lot, but I don't know. Maybe it is a lot if you haven't been doing it for a while.
Well, the fact that it's just going to be around that fairground is...
Yeah, it might. We don't really know what the situation is. We got our 10,000 in last weekend by walking down to Northampton and getting lunch and shopping, and that was a lot of fun. There's not a lot at the Cummington Fairgrounds. I mean, there are... And you would think that walking around a festival, you would get tons of steps
you're walking,
in,
you're
but
stopping,
you don't.
You're walking, you're stopping.
Yeah, it's not as much as you would think. So we're going to definitely have to walk some steps in so that we...
Either that or you can do how I was telling you about the woman at the playground.
Oh, yeah, just walking in place.
Walking in place. She was like stepping in place while her kid was on the apparatus. You could do that in each booth and,
I could do
everybody
that.
Look at you.
Well, you know what? People already look at us. Diane and I think we need to have like a walkers gang, fat ladies walking. And have like a gang jacket and a theme song. And our theme song would be Highway to the Danger Zone. From the Top Gun movie. We have a whole thing going on. Own it. I'm out there. I'm walking in my hot pink shirt. I own it. And my Vera Bradley backpack. I seriously was thinking today, I need a fanny pack.
Oh my God! Don't you?
I know, but I was like, it would be so much cooler. Not as in that's so cool, but as in not so sweaty. If I had a fanny pack instead of my little tiny backpack for my wallet.
Please don't.
I don't even care. I have no shame. I don't care. So yeah, the other thing that's coming up is the Fiber Frolic in Maine.
Won't be going to that.
That is the weekend after this, the 1st of June. And I am going up there with my friends Kathy and Lisa, as far as I know. I'm excited because I don't have to
Lois.
drive.
There's no way I can do that.
Lois is going to be there. Lois from Knitting My Bag. Heather from Highland Handmaids is going to be there, so I'm going to get to see her.
Yeah, I got to work that weekend. And
I'm super excited about it. I have not been to the Fiber Frolic before. It's a new festival for me, so I'm interested to see, what they have and whether it's worth going next year. Connecticut Sheep and Wool, we really enjoyed that. That was the first time for us, and that turned out to be kind of a fun festival. So I'm definitely going to do that again, and maybe I'll have Fiber Frolic added in too if I really like it. So, but I am excited to see Lois and her daughter. I'm hoping her daughter will be there too because I haven't seen Lois since I'm back. It's been a long time, and now that she's just like a few hours away from us.
I know, we got to meet up with her.
Yes, definitely.
Have to meet up with her.
That was good. About these little bags, I want to tell you, I actually bought, if you follow me on Instagram, I bought 10 pairs of miniature scissors like this big on Amazon so that I can put a little tiny pair of scissors in every bag. And I'm looking for a place to get inexpensive tape measures like this. I mean, I have a few. I've had 4 of them in my house. But I'm thinking I might just buy the little ones like I showed you, the thin ones, because they're less expensive.
Yeah.
And they take up less room. So, I don't know. But if anybody has any ideas about that or any tips on what else I should put in, I'm going to put some stitch markers in each tube. I'm going to make some, because I used to make stitch markers, and it's just, I have plenty in my Notions bag, but I want to make like a little set for each bag.
There you go.
So that'll keep me busy. And I am working on some new tech edits. So I have 3 jobs right now that I'm working on. So you'll be hearing about more about those as they come out. And that's all I have for gossip and innuendo.
I don't have anything. Just like I said, I'm going to the Mass Sheep and Wool. And if they're doing their walking and sitting. Well, the other reason is because knowing me, I'll probably trip and kill myself because I'll be on limited sleep. I'll slip in the mud, make a mess.
Wear your sneakers.
Oh, no. Are you kidding? I'll be wearing these dance goes.
And then you're definitely not going to walk with us if we're in the grass. I don't know. I don't know what the walking situation is going to be.
Well, you may not even want to do that depending on the weather, too. So, stop looking.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem with the weather.
We'll figure it out. So if you see us, say hi.
Yes, please stop and say hi. We're not having any kind of a formal
I'm sorry
meetup.
for the last minute earthquake.
Yeah, that's the cat. He's right here. Are you hungry, kitty. Oskar?
You silly kitty.
You're going to get allergies from touching him.
I know. I have already been scratching my chin from him. So
at least I stopped you from drinking out of the soda after he did.
Thanks, Oskar. On that note,
yes.
Have a good week.
Yes.
Knit with heart.
Knit with heart. Hope we have more for you next week. Bye.
I doubt it. Bye.